heard of circumference before? Yes. We've heard of arcs, but we haven't done arc length. God bless you. All right, how do I find arc lengths and other measures? I'm going to start with the word circumference. What does circumference mean? Who remembers the word circumference? The whole thing. So it's the what? It's similar to what? Similar to perimeter. Perimeter is around the distance of a polygon, right? So it has sides. Circle doesn't have sides, and so we use circumference, which is the distance around the circle. Good. So this is my circle. My circumference is where? Where? It's on the outside of the whole circle, right? So this is where you find the circumference, using the outside of the circle. Now, it's the distance. Distance is what? Is it degrees? Is it length? Is it? It's length, right? Distance, if I walk a certain amount of distance, I've traveled somewhere, right? So it's the distance of, like, around the circle. It's an actual length. Make sure you know it's a length. Now, there's a formula for circumference. The circumference equals 2 times, anyone know? Pi times r. What do you think r represents? It's the radius. Where's the radius located? Where's the radius? From the center of the circle to a point on the circle. Very good. So that would be r. R could be anywhere in there, but that's r, right? As long as it comes from the center to any point on the circle. There's another formula. We don't always use it, but there is another one. Pi times diameter. Why do you think they would have pi times diameter and then 2 pi r? Because the diameter is how much of it? How many radii? 2. So 2 radii is the same as 1 whole diameter. We know why it's radii? Because there's 2. Not radiuses. That's weird. All right, we're going to talk about revolution. A revolution. All right. My brain was not working third period, but it's awake now. So, circumference is the distance around, yes? So if I take my paper plate, let's pretend I cut out this. I and I want to lay it flat. That's the circumference. Do you understand? It's taking this, cutting it out, and laying it flat. Could I measure the circumference with a string? Yes, and then I can lay the string flat and I can measure it, right? A revolution is taking the circle and going across until this point A comes all the way back to what? The top. I just traveled the what? The circumference of the circle. Why do you know it was the circumference of the circle? Because it's the outside and it went all the way around. Do you understand? It started here, we went all the way, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, to about there. Yes? Does that make sense? That right there is a measure of my circumference. Understood? What has a revolution? If you come in a vehicle to school, you're what? The wheels. Because the wheels do what? They turn. They don't just spin in one spot. You wouldn't go anywhere, correct? They have to turn in a revolution in order to get you where? To school or wherever you need to go. What else has a revolution? The wheels on a bus, yes. The earth. Why? It turns where? Around the sun, right? One whole revolution around the sun is how we get a year. Make sense? Okay, do we understand revolution? It's the spin of a what? Spin of a circle. It's measuring the circumference. So if I say you have 100 revolutions, how many times did it turn? 100 times. How many circumferences do we have? 100. Do you understand? One revolution is just one measure of the circumference. If I do 2 revolutions, how many times do I have the circumference? 2. Do you see how this is working? Okay. All right. You're going to need this in a little bit. That's why. Let's talk about arc length. We're talking about the length. We are not talking about its measurement. Do you hear me? Length is different than measurement. Arc length is a portion of the circumference of the circle. We're going to talk about the arc length corollary. Arc length corollary. It's a formula we're going to memorize. It's the arc length of arc AB over, which is the same word as divided by, 2 times pi times r, which is equal to the measure of arc AB over 360 degrees. Good. Here's my question. My question is this. Why is the measure of arc AB over 360? What does it mean to be the measure of arc AB? It's just a portion of it. It's the angle, which is the same as the arc, yes? So if I know the angle or the arc, it's a portion. Why 360? Because it's the whole circle. So it's the portion out of the whole circle. Okay, so it's a fraction. This one is arc length of AB. So now we're not looking at the measurement of arc AB, which is the angle measure. We're looking at how long it is. Over 2 pi r. Why 2 pi r? Why 2 pi r? It's the circumference. So what I want you to think of is this. Think of a slice of pizza. All right? You have your pizza, and you take out a slice. Make sense? Envision this pizza in your head. What I'm saying is, you had your circumference of the whole circle, but I just took out the slice. Now what I want you to do is I want you to lay out that piece of that crust really flat and measure how long it is. Do you understand? That's what this is saying. The arc length is saying how long was that piece of pizza crust. If I lay it really flat, what does it measure? Okay? Length over length, because distance is circumference, right? Angle over angle. Make sure you have them in the right spots. Whole circle on the bottom, piece of the circle on the top. Got it? Because you're going to need to memorize this. We're going to set it up as close as we can to a proportion so it's easy. Understood. All right, so examples. I said a lot of words. Hopefully you wrote some of those down. First example says the diameter of a bicycle tire is 30 inches. To the nearest foot, how far does the tire travel when it makes 100 revolutions? All right, ready? Here we go. The diameter of a bicycle tire is 30 inches. What do we care about in the sentence? Diameter and 30 inches. So I should probably go draw myself a what? Circle. When I draw the circle, I should put the center, and then I should draw the what? What does it mean to be a diameter? Cut through. And we're labeling it as 30 what? Inches. Good. Let's keep reading. To the nearest foot, how far does the tire travel when it makes 100 revolutions? Key words in that sentence. Foot. What else? 100 revolutions. When it's asking revolutions, what is it asking for? What was it? How many times it goes all the way around? How many times? 100 times. So you're taking the tire and you're turning it 100 times. So we're seeing how far it traveled. Good. How far it goes, how far it traveled. Make sense? Okay. So what do we need to do? What formula? Circumference. We're doing circumference. We're not asking for a piece, we're asking for the whole thing, right? If we had a piece of the tire missing, we may have an issue. It's not going to go very far. All right. C equals, what's the formula you want to use? You can use 2 pi r, but then you have to find r. You can use pi d since I already have what? I already have the diameter. Okay. We're going to plug in diameter. We're going to say circumference equals what? Pi times 30. But wait, how many times was it turning? 100, so what can I not forget? I need the 100. Am I going to multiply it, add it, divide it? Why multiply? You're doing it 100 times. It's saying 1, 2, I don't want to add those, right? I want to multiply that. Okay, so 30 times 100. Try that again. 3,000 times pi. Now, you need to give your answers 2 different ways. One is in terms of pi. This is simplest form in terms of pi. There's nothing for me to do to it. It's done. Your second one is that it needs to be in a decimal form. Now, you're not using 3.14. You're using the button on the calculator that says pi. Okay? Because when you use 3.14, you've just rounded it. When you use the button on pi, then we round, it's different. Do you understand? Do we not have class? All right, circumference is approximately. Why are we approximating? So we're going to round. We're going to cut it to a decimal. I want it to the nearest tenth. So what are we going to write down? Oh, wait. Did you know how to plug it in your calculator?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you put 3,000 pi? Then you press the approximation button. So you're going to tell me 9,400.8 what? No. Inches. Why are we in inches? Because it was the diameter was measured in what? In inches. Yeah, the diameter of the tire was in inches, but what is my question asking? It's asking for what? For feet. It says round to the nearest foot. Okay, how do we find feet if we're in inches? Divide by what? 12. What? 12 inches. I don't want you to want to know what that was. Are we still in approximation? Okay. What's your approximation? Wait, nearest foot. Do I need a decimal? No, so 785 what? Feet. Question? Do you know why you didn't put a decimal? Because it's nearest foot. You can say nearest tenth. It's nearest foot. Make sense? Okay. arc length. You don't have homework on this part. Well, you do have on circumference, but not on revolutions. But where would you see revolutions? On your test, yeah. When's your test? 31st. When's your missing work due? 25th. Yes. Your test is the 31st. I'm cutting off missing work the 25th. Yes. Make sure your friends who are in Link Crew know this, because not everyone has joined my Remind. I think I only have about 30 people who have done the Google Doc, and there's 43 people in Link Crew. So, like, special person. Special. All right, find arc length. What is arc length in terms of? What are we measuring when we talk about arc length? What about the arc? It's length, which means, like, if we're talking pizza, it's what? It's like the crust. Victor, push your desk back up. I know your legs are long, but you don't need to be that far back, no. Not if you put them on the floor. Why are people in class? Here we go. Do you know a formula? Okay, are we going to write it? Yes, we are. Are we going to write every single problem we do tonight? Yes, we are. Why don't you write the formula? All right, what's the formula? Arc length AB. Divided by 2 times pi times r equals measure of arc AB over 360, yes? Okay, what are we looking for? The arc length, so what do we have? The arc length, so what do you want to call it? Wonderful, let's call it x. Over, do we have 2? Yep. Do we have pi? Yep. Do we have r? What is it? 8 centimeters, yes. So when I measure at the end, and my answer should probably be in what? Centimeters. Do I know the measure of arc AB? What is it? How do you know it's 60? The angle is what? What's that point called? The center. You have a central angle. If you have a central angle, then your angle and your arc are the same. If you multiply it by 2, you got wrong. For you to multiply by 2, this needs to be where? on the circle. Good. All right, can you reduce this? Divide this by, well, divide by 10 first, and then by 6. Let's multiply 2 and 8. What do you get? Can you divide by what? I did. That's why I crossed out the zeros. 16 what? Equals, what's 6 over 36 reduced? 1/6. Okay, you have a proportion. How do you solve proportions? Cross what? Cross multiplication. So 6 times x equals 16 pi. Now what? Divide by what? Divide by 6. Hopefully you show your work, because you guys don't always show your work, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to get it wrong. So we get 16 pi over 6. Wonderful. This means simplest form of pi. Simplest form in terms of pi. Simplest form in terms of pi. Might want to write that down. Simplest form in terms of pi. So in other words, is this simplified? No. What can I divide into 16 and 6? Divide by 2. When you divide by 2, what do you get? 8 pi over 3. This here is in simplest terms, simplest form in terms of pi. Because I can't divide anything into 8 and 3. Correct? But I might want a decimal. Oh wait, I need to put the measurement. What's the measurement? Centimeters. Okay. I might want a decimal. It depends on the directions. Do you understand? I think sometimes we ask for in terms of pi, and other times we ask in terms of decimal. So you need to know both. Okay, when you plug it in the calculator, make sure you put parentheses when you're dividing. Just in case you divide wrong. Use the pi button, don't use 3.14. And round to the nearest tenth. What do you get? You're going to do, listen, 8 divided by 3, enter, times pi, equals. What do we get? 8.4. 8.4 what? I want 2 answers tonight. Got it? Every single time you're going to give me how many answers? 2. In terms of pi and in decimal form rounded to the nearest what? 10. The reason why is this. Your homework doesn't specify on the front. It just says find the measure of the arc length. Well, on your test, I think there is one that looks more like this and not like this. Okay? So you know how to do both. Got it? Questions? I'm done. You're going to start your homework though. What I want you to do though is everyone's going to do number 1 together. Like you're going to do 1 and we're going to go over 1. So everyone's going to do 1.